Hello, just checking around who is here. I know I have to be super fast, but that's not the problem. I'll remember who is not, and then later I will have a word with them. Our presentation's topic is bridging systems, basically our Moodle and SIS integration, Moodle and our study information system integration. I was going to talk about the background of it, the struggles, the pains and gains, and then how, with the help of our new Moodle partner, Vextur, we overcame all of those issues. So that's the plan. Maybe shortly who I am. I am from Estonia, Katrin is from Estonia, and Paulius is from Lithuania. And I'm the head of the Educational Technology Center there in Tallinn University of Technology. And I'm also the higher education representative at the Estonian Association of Educational Technologists. And this year is a very special year for us because never before have there been so many Estonians at MoodleMoot Global. So I believe 25 of us with the help of our Ministry of Education who funded all of that. So can you raise your hands? Who from here is from Estonia? Oh, cool. From all different kinds of universities, higher education institutions all over Estonia. I have an MA in Educational Technology. I'm currently pursuing my MBA, so if somebody has any ideas what to write my thesis about, then feel free to contact me, give me ideas, then maybe I will finish it one day. Katrin gave me a task to talk about why we needed the integration between Moodle and the SIS. The basic business requirement that I was given when I started working at Tallinn was that the students, we need to ensure consistent student access. All of the rest of the business requirements I found out while working, so basically on the go. Integration must reduce duplicated work, so it basically means that the lecturers wouldn't have to type in the same information to the study information system and also to Moodle. But by that they sort of meant that, we don't want to add the course description, the study plan to different systems, but we are not there yet, and also grading, so that they would not have to enter their grades to both systems, to the study information system and to Moodle. Then understand how many SIS courses have corresponding Moodle courses. That is very important to our Vice Director of Academic Affairs, for example, because somebody has to keep an eye on if the faculties are doing their jobs, and if all the courses that we teach, if they do have a corresponding Moodle course as support for the students. Provide reliable statistics for accreditation. We have sometimes these international accreditations, which means that we need to keep the data for at least 5 years. This has been a struggle because until now we have been resetting the courses. The lecturers have been resetting them, so we do not have that data, or we have to write on some piece of paper like those separate courses that we need to handle somehow differently. Provide reliable statistics for learning analytics. At the moment we have a contract with IntelliBoard. IntelliBoard is also here, by the way, in the exhibition area. But before that, we were using a Power BI solution, and so it was also important for learning analytics, especially, for example, for predictive analytics, that you have the data. If you delete the data in the end of each semester, you don't have data, then you can't do quality learning analytics. And support long-term maintainability. The why in 3 layers. Teachers, less duplication, less admin, students, reliable, consistent access, institution, trustworthy data, just everything that I just explained. The background of our Moodle is that we used to use a nationwide Moodle. Estonia has had one Moodle. All the general schools, vocational schools, universities were using the same Moodle. And Tallinn University of Technology was using it from 2006 till 2019. So I'm not very good at math, but 13 years, is it correct? Yeah. So we moved out, we migrated around 5,000 courses out of there in the beginning of 2019. So we created our own Moodle instance, and here's the idea was that both of these Moodles had to look the same, feel the same, and also the course links were redirecting from this countrywide Moodle to our Moodle. So even if someone was lost, they immediately got to the right course. So this is how we started the SIS integration, because before we had to move out of this ministry Moodle, the centralized Moodle, before we could start integrating it with our university's study information system. After the migration, now we are at the point where we already have our own separate Moodle instance, right? Then we did the UniID single sign-on. I hope many of you know what that means. Then new user interface, new learning analytics tools. And the benefits were that we now had the freedom of choice when to upgrade and which plugins to use, which is very difficult to do when you are using like a centralized countrywide Moodle. And also we were able to do integrations with other systems and services of our university. ChildTech Moodle statistics, had to check myself, 5,295, yeah. So you can just see the growth, and maybe just for some background. And the biggest challenge, as I mentioned, the most important business requirement I was told when I started working was that students must have course access for the entire study period. But in order to do that, we needed to change the archiving policy. And this was the biggest challenge, because this is like the challenge for the business side. So for me as the project manager for the Educational Technology Center, because we needed to get agreements from all of the faculties that they are not anymore going to reset the courses every semester, but they need to create new courses for each semester, and the semester of their previous course will be sent to the archive. So we keep the data, and we keep the courses now for 5 years with all the data. And with that, we also had to update the terms of service, course life cycle, user policy, all of that. And you can imagine if you have been using one Moodle for 13 years and everyone is used to doing things one way, and now you come with your rules and you start saying that it's like change management, right? You need to convince everyone that now they have to change things. So this was the biggest challenge. I'm not going to read those to you, don't worry. I just wanted to visualize how we started. So it was the 2nd of June, 2020. I remember it as if it was yesterday, because this is the biggest failure of my career. It was a presentation that me and the head of our IT development team did to our management. It was during the pandemic. It was already pandemic then. We were given 5 minutes or something like that. And then we presented to our management that we want to automate course creation based on the SIS data. So we take SIS data, and then we're going to just create Moodle courses, and the lecturers will save so much time, and it's so good for the organization. And then basically we got feedback straight away that this is raw, this is an awful idea. We have so many exceptions at our university that this cannot be implemented. And then we were recommended to come up with a work group that starts from scratch, basically. So I remember that day, that 2nd of June, I was just sitting on my chair, and I was thinking, okay, so all that we have done for half a year, this is now okay. So let's start again. So basically, we have been dealing with this Moodle SIS integration for 6 years, 5 or 6 years, for a really long time. And there are different reasons why it has been very difficult for us, because it was in-house development, in-house resources, both business side and IT side. And more pain. So the reality behind the project is that we had a lack of expertise and people, key IT staff leaving the university. We were starting almost from scratch at points, then competing priorities. At our university, there were other systems that needed to be developed, management changes, re-explaining everything from the beginning. Then COVID. At some point, we had no time. Nobody had any time. We, from the business side, had no time. IT had no time to deal with any of this. Faculty and lecturer resentment, and our own team already tired of all of this. So this is the kind of the stage where we were at. And the 4 scopes of work for the SIS and Moodle integration that we were aiming to do, automatic Moodle course creation and lecturer role assignment, updated our hiring policy and terms of service, student enrollment, and transfer of grades. So now we have done the first 3, and the 4th one we are, with the help of Vextur, we are going to hopefully start doing now that we go home from the conference. Our SIS is custom built, no APIs, and far from standard SIS. So that's why it was a very difficult task for our in-house IT team to develop. No vendor support, as I mentioned. Expertise underestimated, and we also had a difficult relationship between our business side and IT side, because just no one had resources, and all of those tasks, were kind of like nobody knew who really has to do what. And from challenges to solutions, so now we are actually in a much better place because we found more resources, hired a new IT project manager, Katrin, and actually to my team we hired a business analyst who was helping us for 2 years to basically create those requirements for the IT department, so they would know what to develop. Yeah, but before that, even Jira tasks, for example, the business side was doing. So it was just like lack of competency, lack of resources. But the management changed, staff changed, and then we got to the point where we got more staff. And now the floor goes to Katrin, who saved the day.
Thank you. Yes, I'm not actually the hero, but when I came, changes started. And yes, so a little bit about myself. I am the IT project manager in our development unit, and I have been in this field for 19 years, so I have seen some different systems and how they have been developed, and some major breakthroughs and very bad faults. And with Moodle, I have had contact or dealt with this for 4 years now. Not long, but have seen some very nice things. So, when I came to Taltech from 2021, all our developments, as Liisi said, were done in-house, and all our information or our Moodle was hosted by the ministry, and our plugin for Moodle and SIS integration was already started, but unfortunately, as Liisi also said, there were people going away, new teams were formed, and we also hired a new developer for finishing the plugin for Moodle and SIS integration. He did a really good job, and by the end of 2022, it was in live. As we didn't know exactly how the users would take it, we decided to go for a pilot. So only those who thought that it's a good idea to create courses themselves could use it. So a little bit about this plugin, which is one of a kind, actually. So it started as a proof of concept by our earlier developer who didn't know much about Moodle developer guidelines or how Moodle itself was built or worked. So he thought that maybe it's a good idea to use Laravel backend and Vuespa as a front end. And it actually worked really nice. It looked really nice, and the users got to create the courses by themselves. They got to link the Moodle courses to the SIS information. So it worked really nice. But if you go a bit more deeper, then upgrading this plugin was a bit a real nuisance, because it took quite a long time. So, with few words, as the developer knew how to develop Laravel, and it was easy for him to just go for it. But on the other side, for some reason, we didn't have Vuja expertise in-house, and I think the most important part is that we used technology which was not working nicely with Moodle itself. So one day we got this information which actually shocked us really completely. Ministry told us that your good days are over with us, and you have to find yourself a new way to host your Moodle. Also, our management decided that as we have to have so many developments done in-house, we don't have that much resources, so we have to get more money and outsource them. So, and we have to stay as the smart customer. So we went out, made a procurement, and got ourselves a new partner who had a new view how we could do our Mois plugin, and it was changed. So, Paulius, let's give us an information.
This one, right?
Yeah.
Hello. Yes, a little bit about me. Paulius, founder and CEO of Vextur and passionate cyclist. And we are Moodle premium partners in Baltics, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, and Finland. And it's part of my team. Yes, then we came to first part was that already year we hosting Taltech Moodle on our data center. So we live it already 1 year together and work it day by day. And during beginning of this year, we started to plan that we need to do something with plugins, which always raised some additional issues to upgrade the Moodle and so on. So all this discussion started, and we started to prepare. And when we started to prepare the Mois version 2, we had some challenges. One of them is that there was a lot of core changes which was made to run the Mois version 1. So we needed to handle that and minimize this number of changes to the new version. The existing code refactoring was one of the situations which we need to manage, because we have the documentation, what the functionality must be, and of course we have a working product which we can analyze. It was on the Laravel, but we had a team which handled that and use it as a working prototype and working on that. And Laravel, you know that. And UI was one of the, I think, what the end user always see, that it was a Moodle and in separate window Mois version 1 plugin or solution. So it was not so user-friendly and user experience-based good practice. So we planned to change that in general. And main functionality, what we've done till now, is that there is a possibility for lecturer regarding to the information from curriculum in studies information system to pick the courses which he or she wants to create in the Moodle as a course and decide, do they want to upload the students, enroll the students as well or not. So now all the UI is Moodle based, and lecturer don't need to go anywhere. It's a more friendly process, and you can go back to that. You can choose firstly create the course, for example, if you're just creating it and you want to enroll the students later. So a lot of flexibility, because who works in university know that not everything goes by the plan. So we allow it to have this functionality and work it together and agree that it's a mandatory thing. And there is some settings which lecturer can manage all this integration process, because the semester starts the autumn semester, spring semester, so we added some flexibility to the lectures as well. And there is a list of data which must be transferred, shared in the Moodle side, so everything now works through APIs, and the system is successfully launched. And of course, because the process, the student in Taltech is about 10,000 students, so of course it was decided that all these things must be done automatically, all this status changed, new students come, some are graduated and so on. So all these underhood processes are going continuously, and data is updated. And of course, lecturer can view it, check it, and so on. And I go maybe faster, and it was quite challenging because the first version of Moist was used till we uploaded the new version 1, and because it was version 1 running, and we created in parallel a second version, we choose it to work as in all our projects by agile principles, have a continuous meetings, show it quickly what we done, it is okay or not, maybe we need to change something, because we not copied everything, we just followed best practices, what worked, what not, and created a better, in general, solution for them. And there is some challenges which we managed successfully, that in the ending of this year, spring semester, we just decided the date, prepared everything, and changed the application Moist 1 to the plugin Moist 2, migrated all the data, and successfully launched that. And before the vacations of summer, we tested fully everything and prepared for the new year. And there is a plan of new functionality, which we will do together later, as colleagues mentioned, and more deeper integrations, because we're following the idea that the data must be inserted to any of the systems one time and then share it between all of them. So we're following this agreement and working together. And some conclusions, Katrin, if you want to finalize this.
Yeah, we don't have much time. We were planning actually for 1 hour, so it's quite good. So yes, for you to take away from the session, maybe these thoughts would be good. That if you want to do some developments for Moodle, be aware what Moodle is, or how things are developed for this information system, and respect them. If you don't know how to do it yourself, get a team. We had team, but in order for it to work properly, we had to educate them, but another way was to get a partner. And if you want a new thing to be the best for all users, try piloting, because in that way you get the fastest feedback from as less impact for all the users, the bad impact. So it would be, in the end, the best result. And of course, we have to have money to do things. So in our case, we made this Moist plugin with our finances, but there is another university in Estonia who would like to do a cooperation with us, and we are happy to help them. They want to use this plugin, and we are happily to give it to them to use it as well. So that's two cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the speakers. Do we have any questions in the room?
So we had to build a system like this as well for our university, and we always have the discussion how much decisions the lecturers should have on synchronizing the data. So we decided to make every course, every lecture synchronized at a specific date, and let the teachers not handle all this data, and they have no user interface, and we are currently rolling back to giving them more freedom to make changes. So how which discussions did you have with lecturers who had special needs to do that synchronization, the date, the people, the groups, everything?
Very heavy discussions. Yeah, there are so many exceptions. We have 5 faculties, and the faculty heads, they were not willing to, they wanted that all the exceptions we would take into account and so on and so forth. Of course, you can't take everyone's opinion, but for example, in our Moodle, we have these things called thesis courses. So basically, it's not like, it's for the whole faculty or for the whole institution or something like this. So you can't really, like, we have this rule right now that we archive 3 weeks after the semester is done, but these final thesis courses, of course, we can't archive. So this is just one exception. Then we have, somebody has put their guidelines into Moodle. They're using Moodle for everything, and it's like to standardize, it's super difficult. So yeah, I on one of my slides there was actually this sentence like, it's easier to start from 0. If you come from like another, if you migrate your courses from another system like we did from the ministry Moodle, then it's very difficult to explain to already like the Moodle users that they need to change something. But if you start from scratch, then you have all those agreements, right? And then you can maybe do it. Because some of the things that are in our Moodle, they should probably be on the website. They should probably be on the internal portal somewhere else. But Moodle is full of all kinds of things. And like to make some sort of sense to this mess, it's super difficult. Yeah.